What we know about the victims of the Lion Air plane crash off Indonesia, where there were likely no survivors. A plane carrying 189 people between two Indonesian cities crashed Monday morning. Lion Air Flight JT610 was traveling from Jakarta to Pangkal Pinang when the Boeing 737 MAX 8 crashed into the sea at about 6:30 a.m. local time. Everyone on board is feared dead, the Reuters news agency said. Yusuf Latif, spokesman of National Search and Rescue Agency, said there were likely no survivors. Wreckage has been recovered from the crash site in the Java Sea, not far from where the plane took off from Soekarno-Hatta International Airport in Jakarta, the Indonesian capital. Images show rescue workers carrying body bags. So far information is limited, but here is what we know about the 189 people on board. Suneja had logged more than 6,000 flight hours, according to Lion Air. Indonesia's Indian embassy said on Twitter that Suneja lost his life. Harvino had logged more than 5,000 flight hours, according to Lion Air, which named him alongside Suneja. It is common for Indonesians to use only one name. A 21-year-old, her father, 52, and brother, 13, who were traveling to a funeral. The BBC reported that Michelle Virginia Bangka, 21, was on the flight to attend her grandmother's funeral. She was traveling with her brother, Matthew, 13, and father Radonia, 52. Her sister Vina told the BBC that the family had already been grieving the death of the grandmother. She said the family regularly flew this route but normally used other airlines. She said they used Lion Air as they needed to take an early flight to attend the funeral. Ayu was trying to get pregnant by IVF, her aunt told the BBC, and she was traveling to her hometown to get some rest. I am still holding out hope that she will come back. I am praying and praying for that, her aunt Didi told the BBC. Murtado Kurniawan told the BBC that his wife was on the plane. The pair were recently married and she was traveling for work, he said. I can't live without her. I love her, he said. Lion Air said one child was on board. It did not specify the child's age, or say what its criteria are for baby, child, or adult. Indonesia's finance ministry confirmed that 20 passengers were government officials. Spokesperson New France Wira Sakti told the BBC that the men were returning to work after spending the weekend in Jakarta. He said they often took this flight as it was the one that got them to the office on time. An Italian passenger was on board the crashed plane, Reuters reported. No further information was available. A U.S. State Department spokesperson told Business Insider that the department was not aware of any U.S. citizens on board and it was in contact with the airline and Indonesian authorities. A further 152 people were on the plane. Authorities have given no identifying information about them other than that they are adults. The pilot of the downed Lion Air flight asked to turn back shortly before it crashed into the sea off Indonesia. The pilot of a Lion airplane that crashed into the sea off Indonesia on Monday morning asked air traffic controllers to let him turn back minutes before the plane went down. Flight JT610 left the Indonesian capital of Jakarta at 6:20 a.m. local time, headed for the city of Pangkal Pinang on the island of Bangka, the plane monitoring site Flight Radar said. The plane fell into coastal waters off the island of Java about 13 minutes after takeoff. Hours later, all 189 people aboard the flight were feared dead. The flight's pilot, Bhavye Suneja, asked air traffic control for permission to return to Jakarta's Soekarno-Hatta International Airport just 2 or 3 minutes after the plane took off, Reuters reported. The request was approved, but communications from the plane went silent before it fell into the sea minutes later. We hope the black box is not far from the main wreckage so it can be found soon, Soriando Jajono, the head of Indonesia's Transport Safety Committee, told Reuters. According to Channel News Asia, investigators view the so-called black box, which saves all plane data during a flight, as key to working out what went wrong with the Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft. Muhammad Sayaji, the head of the Indonesian National Search and Rescue Agency, told Reuters that officials had not received a distress signal from the aircraft's emergency transmitter. Emergency transmitters are designed to send out a location when planes crash, but but the one aboard flight JT-610 didn't transmit a signal. The plane was brand new and had been in use only since August. Boeing, the aircraft maker, said it was deeply saddened by the plane's downing and stands ready to provide technical assistance to the accident investigation. Sutopo Purwonugroho, a public relations officer for the Indonesian National Board for Disaster Management, tweeted these photos of divers at the crash site.